A weekend. This is, Kansas tomorrow at U of H to finish up the regular season, to win the Big 12. I'll bet they're pretty good.
Over 1,000.
No.
That seems impossible. KJ sent us a picture.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to get sold at that much.
No, but that's
but
what
there are some
asking.
that are listed well over 1,000.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
That is so much fun, too. I was thinking about if one of my friends would give me tickets, I would go. But apparently, if they're over $1,000, nobody's giving me a ticket. So
they're selling them.
Yeah. I wouldn't sell them. I would go. I want to go. I want to be in that building. That is going to be electric.
But I also like $1,000.
Revenge on the line.
Yeah.
After they beat you in their place and by the way, dominated you in their place.
They did.
Yeah, they did. That
was
was
probably of all the losses. That was the
worst. Oh,
yeah.
not by far. TCU was at the very end. So was Iowa State. This game was over in the first half. That place was nuts. And you got the Big 12 regular season all-alone championship on the line. You got a number 1 seed on the line. This is going to be fun tomorrow. That is the place to be, Hofheinz Pavilion. The Fertitta Center. That is the place to be tomorrow here in the city of Houston. There's no question. And Lainey Wilson is tomorrow, too. And I don't know if you heard, but she's lost some weight. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, no, you told me that she's acceptable now.
Well, no, I didn't say. I actually no. I thought she was just fine before. Actually, I keep saying that, and you think it's a negative. I'm not being negative toward her before. Actually, I don't mind.
I know that's what seems so weird about this.
No. I'm just saying. It's just an observation. I'm actually. I like.
StubHub.
Yeah.
So KJ was kind of cherry picking the highest tickets. Now that I'm looking, 2 tickets you can get in for $180 a ticket.
Oh, that's not
Section.
bad.
Now you're back there a little bit, but there's no
that
real
doesn't
bad
matter.
seats. Section 107, row 18.
There is no bad seat in that house.
No, not really. No,
not
really.
at all. Period.
I mean, you're right here, so they're going to be about as far as you can get.
That's where we sat. That's where I sat last game. It was great.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Every time I go to a theater, go to a show, go to a game, and I look at and I just think, God, why am I paying to be here when these tickets aren't bad either? Like, you look around, most of them. Here's
but
a
play
right
is
now.
better to be up close.
Yeah, but a lot of them are not that big. Well, it depends. Like if you're going to a theater in New York, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
A hobby center, yes. But if you're going to the Alley Theater, it's not that big a deal.
Well, we went to Book of Mormon on Saturday, and we were front row.
Where were you?
In New York.
Yeah. You mean one Saturday, not recently.
This last weekend, I was in New York.
You were?
Yeah.
What were you doing, with Frankie?
Yeah, we went to see Frankie.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We went to see Frankie, and we went to Book of Mormon, and we went to Six. Have you heard of Six?
Yeah, I went with my daughter. When
Yeah.
Here.
It was neat.
Yeah, it is.
Neat.
It's good. I went when it came
talented,
here. It was the red hot. It's a big.
It was a
musical,
good show. It was a good show.
Tony
It
Award
was
winner.
fun. Yeah, it was. That was fun. So that was. But we were, relatively close, and the first row of the balcony was perfect. It's great. Those are great seats. So, but there's not a bad seat in that house.
No, but you're going to pay pretty good prices. Like 180 is the lowest you're going to find. There's plenty of tickets. I shouldn't say
That's
cheap
the way it
tickets,
should be.
but it's
this team deserves to be, a high priced item in this city.
No, this is a big game.
Yeah,
it's a huge game. You get a chance to see two. You get to see a blue blood program taking on a team that is certainly blue blood for this city. I mean, Kelvin Samson. How many straight years does Kelvin have to perform at this level to get people behind him? Well, it's happened. People are behind him, and this is what happens when you win over time. Houston can do things like they have done, which is really create a great home court advantage. As a kid, I used to go to Five Slam and Jamma games, and it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. This is the first time that I've seen Hofheinz like this, and I used to go to some games when it was Carl Herrera and some of those. Pat Foster had some good U of H teams too. They went to the tournament, but not like this.
No,
not like this.
This is awesome.
This is great. The stadium is great. So yeah, looking forward to that one. That's going to be the big story, and then we're going to wait and see if the Texans re-sign any of their guys and where the big names are going to be moving. It's March 11th is the date when free agency starts. So that's on Monday. Wait, that's official tampering is on Monday?
Yeah, tampering is next week.
Legal
right?
tampering.
Yeah, legal tampering is next week. Right.
Which I don't know why they call it that. Just call it early engagement.
Why don't they
like
just
that.
sign them? What the hell?
Yeah, why do we have to do?
We've
Why do we
agreed
even
to terms.
put tampering?
The
on
NBA
here?
does this as well. Why do you do this? Just sign them.
Just ready, set, go.
Yeah,
but I do like an earlier time frame for players, for guys to keep their own. You know what I mean? For teams should have an advantage to try to keep their own players by being able to. They've invested in them, and if the player wants to leave, he's going to leave.
So, did you see the video of Derrick Henry working out? Did you see that? It was on Twitter?
Uh-huh.
Holy crap. That dude don't look like he's going to be slowing down anytime. And he's still fast.
No,
there
people
is
are
nothing
crapping
wrong.
on Derrick Henry, and I know it's just because he had some bad games last year. He had an atrocious offensive line.
Yeah.
Like a truly generationally terrible
people
line.
crapping on Pierce, Dameon Pierce. He didn't get any blocking at all. None. Zero.
No, and
it just seemed like when he was in there, nobody wanted to block.
No, but it speaks
Is he
to
a bad guy?
No, he's just slow.
Oh.
He's slow to the line of scrimmage. It speaks to Motor being such a good fit for zone. He can find his own yards with wiggle and with quickness. You know, he doesn't wait. He hits it and he goes. Dameon's trying to read where the point of entry is. You can't do that. It's the league's too fast. You can't do it. And I actually, it's one of the conversations I had with Bobby Sloak was about Dameon Pierce as I was bothering him on the plane headed over to the combine. And all I said was, well, I mean, he had some of the same stuff last year. Like, he's not an instant go guy. He does some hesitation. It's just, I think last year there were more run lanes. Last year you had starters on the field and there were more run lanes. Whether you like the starters or not, there were just more. There was more places to run. This year there were fewer places to run, and so you had to be quick. Like, the crevices would close quick, and Dameon Pierce is not a quick, punch and go guy. No. Like, he likes to see it.
Yeah, no. Did you happen to see Anthony Edwards?
The block in the fall where he went sideways?
So, final seconds of the game, Neesmith is driving to the basket, and there's a defender in front of him. Minnesota is up by 2, 113-111. Neesmith going to the hole. Anthony Edwards goes up over his own guy, blocks the shot, and hits his head on the rim.
Yeah.
Hits his head on the rim, falls hard. Now, if it's in the middle of the game, he probably lays there for about 20 minutes or whatever. He gets up and he starts flexing as they win the game.
Oh, my God. I saw it from a different angle. I saw it from the side. I saw it from the angle, the reverse angle. I'm watching it from the TV angle now.
Yeah, the TV angle.
I saw it from someone's angle who had a camera phone, and I was like, oh, my gosh. On the TV angle, it's insane.
It's insane.
His lift is insane.
He hits his head on the back of his head on the rim, falls hard on the ground, falls straight down.
He 100% hurts right there.
Yeah, and then he gets up flexing. And he also was like 18 of 35.
I think he's going to be pretty good.
Anthony Edwards,
I think Anthony, one of my predictions is this guy's going to end up being a good player. So when you see him becoming a good player, remember that you heard it here first.
Okay.
Lance Zerline said Anthony Edwards going to be a good player.
So, yeah, that's not a bust of a pick probably.
No. Nope.
But how about that when Cat goes out, he's got to take over, and he did. Now, whether or not, I don't know how far. Man, that's just a shame because Minnesota finally gets a team for the first time since Kevin Garnett. And
his vertical
and injury.
Honestly, this is one of the highest I've ever seen anyone jump.
He's 6'4".
Did anyone know he could jump that high? Like that vertical is about a 47. This is an insane amount. He was still going up when he hit the rim.
Yeah, the rim stopped him from going higher.
Who does this?
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's the adrenaline. That's everything.
It is a shame the Cat went down and with the knee injury. They're talking about possibly coming back, whatever.
It's meniscus. It doesn't last long.
That's a factor. You know, when in the postseason, when things get tighter and you got to play harder defense, that team can play some defense now. Yeah. And they would have been a factor with
Get them out of there, because one of the things the Rockets are going to do, if we're going to make it far in the playoffs this year, we want all the good teams out.
Yeah, we do. If we do,
it's going to
make it far. Yeah,
it's going to take quite a win streak. Would have helped if you would have beaten the Clippers and then won maybe 8 straight. that would have helped your chances. If you
Yeah.
could win 8 straight.
And
I guess we have to just start over for a potential 8-game win streak now.
Well, I mean, you got a pretty good start here. I think it's Portland's up next, right? At Portland, that's a road win. At Sacramento, road win. At San Antonio, road win. It's what they do.
You just got a bunch of road wins.
It's what they do.
Lined up for
Then they
them.
got Washington and Cleveland at home, two historically pitiful organizations. And then at Washington, another road win. I see like 6 or 7 straight here.
Okay, so now that I'll do it for real. The Rockets right now are
8 games under 500.
They're 12th. They're 12th. They are 6 games out of the play-in behind the Lakers.
Yeah.
They have played a total of 62 games. You have 20 games to go. That's not easy. That's not easy. What do you think their road record is right now? It's pretty good. And by pretty
Their
good,
road record, they have what, 6 wins?
6-24.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the worst in basketball?
Yes, by far.
No.
Yes.
No. Detroit Pistons are 5-27.
Well,
How about this? The Spurs.
I don't count the Pistons.
The Spurs are
as an NBA
6-29. We're talking about what a good game the Rockets played against the Spurs. They're 6-29
Yeah, but they played a good game
on the
against them.
road.
So, and the like the Rockets haven't competed on the road. Stop.
You know the Rockets in their division 8-5, Spurs 1-10, Trailblazers 1-14. But no one cares about divisions anymore. It's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Do you care about that? I don't really care about division. It's weird. I care about divisions and everything else, but when I look at it in terms of basketball, there's now 2 lines. You had the first was the cutoff line, and now you have the dotted cutoff line, and then the hard line, which is the play-in line.
Right.
There's 2 different ones. It's just like, okay, we have Western Conference, Eastern Conference. I'm fine with it. It doesn't matter.
Do you really make the playoffs if you're in the play-in and lose?
For the Rockets, I would consider that a playoffs for us.
Yeah, but like the Lakers?
No, I would not think that's a playoff game for the Lakers.
Are they going to put up a banner playing?
LeBron sexuals, as they call themselves, bronsexuals. They would be
what do they call
they're
themselves?
bronsexuals.
Oh, okay.
They would say, yes, LeBron made the playoffs again. Like they would look at that as a playoff. Yes, I don't think LeBron would.
Yeah,
because he holds himself to a higher standard than the
Does he?
bronsexuals.
Yeah, does he?
Yeah, I think he holds himself to a high standard. I don't think he likes being out of the playoffs.
No, you would think that.
I think last year's Rocket team was more than happy to lose. It was like, win or lose, who cares? We're just vibing. It's just the vibes.
Yeah, well, they're actually, and we can talk about that actually going forward here, because Alpy made some comments about Ime that are pretty telling about Steven Silas. We will talk about that on the other side right here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Right now, I'm talking about Houston Safe and Lock. Houston Safe and Lock is 2 locations, warehouses at both locations. Whichever one is closer to you, Wharton I-10 or Westheimer and the Beltway. The one is called King Safe and Lock, but it's the same company. It's the same guy running it. It's the same guy giving you the best prices that you're going to find on American security safes. You can start as low as like $600 or $700 with a safe, and it's kind of a big deal if you've got a lot of jewelry, if you've got a gun in the house, if you've got cash that you need to I mean, it's just is so much, making it so much more difficult on the bad guys. Okay, they can't get in there, and it makes it a lot safer for your family if you put your gun in there. Your businesses, you need a big, sturdy, the best safe you can buy. You've got it. American security is unmatched. About half of the safes in this city come from Houston Safe and Lock. Derek DeSola knows everything about it. He is going to hook a brother up with the correct safe for you. They'll deliver it, install it. If you've got a safe that you can't open, they'll open it for you. They'll bolt it down if you want it bolted down. All of the things that make the safe perfect for you. Give them a call, 713-522-5555, or go to 975safe.com.
You're listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
Watching a couple of things here from the State of the Union last night.
State of the Union provided some comedy yesterday. That was
Before and after.
before,
during and after.
During, after.
During,
yeah, Katie Britt is a star now.
Katie Britt is a star.
I
bet you, Saturday Night Live, the opening act is Katie Britt.
There's no question. Chris Solis felt like she had watched too many. He said she watched too many Reese Witherspoon rom-coms.
Oh, either that or your little person show.
Tyrion Lannister?
No, the little person show with the dad who was the actor.
Oh, my! Wait, Warwick Davis? Yeah. That's the little person show.
No, the one who tried to kill their parents.
Little person show. Well, that's Tyrion Lannister.
God, he was watching it.
You mean that documentary?
Yeah, the doc.
Oh,
you were watching it for weeks.
Well, I've watched 8 other series since then.
You don't remember the little person who tried to kill her parents and the dad who was an actor?
But I'm not sure she did. Oh no, I know. Yes. That dad's acting.
Yes.
Where he was. If you didn't, you got to go see Katie Britt. It's going to be easy to find.
Oh, my gosh. She is.
Her bad theater acting, where she tried to, like somebody said, Kristen Wiig's coming out of retirement for this character for Saturday Night Live.
It is.
But she was really, I saw Republicans on the timeline saying, we could have done better than this. We didn't have to do this. And then I saw Democrats like, I'm so excited. But it's also funny. I wanted to hear the response like, well, just a huge, I thought Biden was great and just kind of a huge sigh of relief as Democrats were holding their breath throughout, making sure he didn't really stump. This is where we are. Democrats are holding their breath like, what? Please don't. Well, he killed Lincoln Riley. He did kill Lincoln Riley yesterday.
Oh, my God. Lincoln Riley's sitting there going, wait a minute.
But
I'm alive.
On. That's a calculated thing. You think that's You don't think that's intentional? He just picked up so many votes in Oklahoma, and that's a red state. Do you know Joe Biden just picked up red state votes by killing off Lincoln Riley?
Oh, my. What are you
pointing at? It's true. You got to
think he picked up Oklahoma votes?
Follow the money. I don't usually like Biden, but I do like that Lincoln Riley got his.
All you got to do is a little bit at a time, John. By the time Biden won't win Oklahoma, but we keep picking at Lincoln Riley, maybe 3 Democratic candidates from now, they'll take Oklahoma. Just keep chopping wood.
You got to keep chopping wood if you're the Democrats. You got to
so bad.
You got to go after, and now you just say, and Alabama, it's pathetic what's happened to Alabama, the way they chased Nick Saban out of there. You have to make this the Republicans chase Nick Saban out with the conservative, you just say, the conservative Supreme Court's decision on NIL. And look what happened. The conservative Supreme Court, the one that Donald Trump put in place, they voted across the board that's a Joe Biden. They voted across the board to okay NIL. And now you lose one of the great head coaches in Alabama in Nick Saban. And Chip Kelly is going to the NFL, but he's already got California.
He's going to Ohio State, isn't he?
Oh yeah, did Chip stay in college? Yeah, he stayed in college. That's right. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of the Boston College head coach who went to go be a coordinator.
Jeff Hafley.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but you got to.
Yeah, but Bill O'Brien left the NFL to go to Boston College.
Right.
Right.
If you're Alabama, you got to.
By the way, he was complaining about Bill O'Brien had.
Is he already complaining?
Yeah, he was complaining about the signing day. They went to him for quotes. He just got there.
Well, I bet they were.
He's already complaining about
angry.
signing day.
I bet they were pissed off.
Yeah. Before we went to break, how about Alpe's quote? We've got a couple of things. Did you see the Kendrick Perkins I put in there? Plus, we got Michael Wilbon talking about him as well. Everybody, Alpe is the toast of the town right now. Mm-hmm. Alpe is the new C.J. Stroud that everybody has to talk about right now. We're okay
nationally.
Houston is catching some love now in 2 organizations that were I mean, the Rockets had 0 national, or they had one game last year on national TV.
Oh,
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know that they had any.
I think
actually.
they had one.
Why would they have a game on TV?
I think they had one NBA TV game. One.
Oh, is that considered national?
That's,
I consider it harder to find. I consider that the opposite. That's
yeah, probably
witness protection game.
So the Texans, no national games, all noon games, and all of us, and now C.J. Stroud, the Rockets now with Alpy. Holy crap! And here's Alpy talking about Ime. They're all helping us. Like, Ime's a perfect coach. He's the best coach I ever had, probably. But not just me. Our whole coaching staff is amazing. Everybody's doing a great job. Everybody wants to win. I've never seen a coaching staff like this in my life. And when you see, you understand. They're tough. They're talking to us. They're not scared of anything. If you could encapsulate.
They're tough. They're talking to us. They're not scared of Kevin Porter Jr.
And it's exactly what Kelvin Samson told us. You can't be afraid of confrontation.
No.
And Ime Udoka, it looks to me, and by the way, he's got the bald guy with the beard on the sidelines with him.
That's LeBron.
This is a different one. And he looks like he's ready for a bar fight at any time.
Well, they're all former players. They got a bunch of former players.
And they're badass.
Nah, no offense, man. If I'm Steven Silas, it's on site with all these guys. They're, like all the subs that they're throwing at him. Next time, this isn't his personality, so it wouldn't happen. But if I saw him, all right, guys, enough.
Yeah.
Every time
I let y'all's bitch ass do whatever you wanted to. This is y'all wanted to go do
that.
Everything. You didn't want to be messed with, and now y'all want to have
hard coaching.
Yeah,
that's what
now
they
you
want.
want hard
There's
coaching.
a reason that Alpy used the word they're not scared.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you can encapsulate Steven Silas' reign as head coach, he was scared.
Did not
smoke. Want any confrontation.
Did the organization I don't know his personality, but did the organization empower him, or they're like, well,
the organization said, it's not so bad losing right now.
Yeah.
Let's just keep him. Let's keep Bo
I don't
Silas
know that,
here.
Now, I think it's fair to say, now there were rumors going around that the GM would stop practice and jump in on some of the coaching. So that's not ideal.
Well, didn't
for your own
Caserio do that with Cully?
Yeah. Oh, no, Nick Caserio thinks he's a coach sometimes.
Yeah. But now,
he's
not
famous.
with D'Amico, he don't.
He's famous. No, not with Lovey either. Lovey didn't play that. But
Lovey ain't having.
But no, I think the ownership could have been, front office could have been better in terms of providing him support, or maybe even calling him in and say, hey, we got your back. If you need to get tough with these guys, we got your back. And it didn't happen. You could have been tough on them, and you still would have lost. It wasn't going to matter. But
God, I was just thinking, it's so good to be Cully right now. You're on a beach with a drink with an umbrella
John,
in it right now.
He has to be one of the worst coaching candidates, just head coaching candidates that we've ever seen. Not to mention, he actually got a job, worked 1 year, and picked up millions of dollars. Like, it was a golden parachute. And if I'm David Culley, make your jokes.
Thank you.
Your jokes.
I'm on
don't
a beach
care.
right now.
Absolutely. Like, I can't believe I got this lucky.
Yeah.
What did I do to get this 1 year deal where, okay, you're going to have to be made fun of, and you're going to be a laughing stock, and it's going to, really be kind of a bad end to your career. But you will have multiple millions of dollars guaranteed to go out on. If you ask me, nationally people want to clown me on Twitter or whatever. Clown away. Give me my money.
Without the money.
Yeah, give me my money.
Well, did you see the comments?
Well, you do.
Did you see the comments on your mock drafts?
It's not that bad yet.
Yeah.
Let it, like, NFL's not really tweeting my mock draft. I know exactly when NFL's tweeted my mock out because the level of dumb intensifies.
Anyway.
And it's just the level of aggression actually intensifies. It's not like, if you think that we're drafting a linebacker, those are fans who feel like they know better than you, which many times they do, about their needs. It's when I get to the, you should be embarrassed. This is the worst mock. How did you get a job? Like, that's when NFL's tweeted something. The angry ones come out.
Yeah.
The people who just have troll in their heart.
People are just.
I wish just once I could tase a troll.
Wow.
And pepper spray them, use bear spray right in their nose, face, and mouth.
Wow.
Yep, I said it.
Oh, wow. That's aggressive.
And you make all the other trolls watch as you hold him down and you spray him right in his face. And you say, okay, you idiots, we know where you live too.
Oh, my God.
Like the world would be better. I know that sounds like authoritarian and I know that sounds like a dictatorship, but I bet the world would be better.
Well,
If
the
we got
world
rid
would
of
be
trolls-
better with you tasing people.
If we got rid of trolls, you don't think the world would be better? If there was some. Let me ask you a question.
you think it'll stop trolls?
Did you act better or worse when you got punished? When you knew that your dad could spank you?
I just acted bad all the time. It didn't matter.
You did?
Yeah.
Did they ever pull the belt? Well, they give you a fresh one, though.
No, fresh. No, my dad didn't. He didn't hit us.
Okay.
He threw me across a room.
That one
once.
guy that pinned your shoulders down, the wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Did
no,
you
no,
ever
no.
want to mess with his girlfriend again?
No.
Deterrent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Instead of somebody punching you in the teeth, this time it's
Right.
bear spray in the face.
That's true.
And I bet you it's a deterrent. I
Ronnie
bet you they don't
Bighouse,
troll
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the problem with your idea is the person with the bear spray. Can they be trusted? And we know
I
you
can be trusted.
You can't be trusted
I
to
can be
dole it
trusted.
out.
I can pull. I can say no.
No.
Well, here's the deal, though.
I can say, you know what? That's enough.
Here's the deal, though.
No.
I've seen plenty of people get beat up, and yet I still did what I did. All the people watching, that's not going to be a deterrent for them. They're going to go, so I can still do
But what
it
if we
until I
say-
get beat up.
but, okay.
Until you tase me.
Do you remember Goodfellas where they stopped the truck driver and Robert De Niro took his driver's license? He goes, "We know who you may know who we are, but we know who you are."
Yeah.
They got his driver's license. Once they knew where he lived, if we just know where all the trolls live,
Then
like, okay, do what you want to do, but I'm just telling you, you could wake up with a face full of bear spray.
Oh.
I'm not even saying pepper spray. I'm going hardcore. Bear spray. And I bet you those dumbasses stop. We should make people use their actual real names because then they get doxxed.
yeah.
Doxing.
So now you want to dox people too.
you get a choice: bear spray or doxing,
See, this
or
is,
rattan.
this is the issue.
rattan cane, like China.
How many people can be
remember
trusted
that
with
guy,
power?
Yeah,
Michael
who got
whatever.
caned?
Dale,
Yeah.
guess what? You weren't old enough to remember this. Some kid stole in China. And
I
guess
remember.
what? He got. I don't know if it's China. It was somewhere like
It was.
that.
It wasn't like Thailand.
It might have been Thailand.
Wow.
Guess what?
Wow,
He got the
but-
cane.
Same thing.
He got the cane.
You hear
didn't
him?
He?
You hear
he got
him?
the cane.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
hear
like,
it was China or
US,
someplace like that.
You've got to step
You
in and
can't
help
tr-
my son.
You know
US.
you
They're
can't
like,
trust him.
They said, and Bill Clinton said, I mean, he shouldn't have stolen. That's their
Those
rules.
are the
What do you want me-
rules.
Brittany Griner, hash oil, bing, bang, boom.
Well, we
Do you
made.
think-
Oh wait,
Do you
we
think
made-
she ever
hold
brings
on.
hash oil into
Well,
Russia?
no,
You made a trade there.
that's not the same. We gave up the merchant of death for her.
Well, we did.
Okay.
we made a trade
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We've
In
got a little,
trade.
we
We made
got
a-
a little softer.
We made a Broncos Seahawks trade there.
Yeah.
I don't.
no.
We did. I would say power corrupts, and Lance can't be trusted to have any type of
No, I don't.
authoritarian
I would
control.
never use that power in a negative
already
way.
ratcheting up the
I don't need you
punishments.
doing that. I just don't.
I
need
would
you.
do this. Bitch, I'll spray your like. You just have to go. Bitch, I wish
I
you
need you
would.
to-
If you say I wish you would, that is a warning shot.
I wish you would talk about Craig the Surf. That's what I wish.
Craig Surf's got a warning shot for you. Are you right now looking to purchase a new car? And it could be a purchase, it could be a lease. Maybe you haven't decided. Well, you don't have to decide. You can go to Gulf Coast Chevy Buick GMC. They've got a lot of cars in stock. This is the most cars they've had in a long time, and they're still moving vehicles out so they can get more 2024s in. But it's amazing the selection they have, and that's the thing. Craig has always been very big on. He doesn't want you to have to settle for a vehicle. He wants you to get the vehicle that you want. He wants you to get the vehicle that will make you happy. And whether it's a purchase or lease, he understands that price is a big thing to all of us. I don't know anyone who doesn't think price is a big deal. So your trade-in value is going to be much more aggressive. You are going to have all of the incentives that they can find for your dealer incentives. And if they don't have a great program for the lease you're looking for, for the purchase you're looking for, they'll go out of their way to tell you, listen, we don't have it right now, but we think we're going to have a better. Why don't you wait a month or two and see what programs are available then? Could be finance rate, could be dealer cash back, could be a cash allowance for features on your vehicle that you want to put on. It's up to you. So whether you're looking for a great pickup trucks like the Chevy Silverado or the GMC Sierra, or maybe you're just looking for the Buick Preferred that's out there in the Essence that is fantastic right now for a low dollar, no money down lease, it's Gulf Coast Chevy Buick GMC. Go to lantzcars.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
734 ESPN 97.5 and 92.5, 713-780-3776. Interesting here. What's his name? Hold on one second. Bill Barnwell. Bill Barnwell wrote a piece about free agents, and amongst them was Jonathan Grenard. And Jonathan Grenard is a guy who he says is kind of iffy. He says here are the defensive ends that are, he ranks them. No franchise defensive ends in this free agent, amongst the free agents. Daniil Hunter, he says, is Pro Bowl caliber. No franchise.
That's fine.
He does say capable starters. Danico Autry, Jadeveon Clowney, Leonard Floyd, Jonathan Grenard, Bryce Huff, Zadarius Smith.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
You can't just work off a player's best year in a contract year and assume that's the norm.
Well, here's the deal. Grenard and Huff, on the other hand, are about to get paid after posting career seasons. Grenard followed a 1.5 sack season with the Texans in 22 by racking up 12.5 sacks and 22 knockdowns last season. Huff was more efficient as a pass rusher on a snap-by-snap basis. Huff also had 3 sacks where he essentially went unblocked, though. Grenard had an 8-sack season in 21, but neither of these guys has a track record as his team's top pass rusher. Should that be a warning for teams? In the past, I wrote that it was, but recent results have argued in the other direction. Smith was a great signing for the Packers. Trey Hendrickson signed with the Bengals, transformed their defensive line. Paying for an outlier season is a good way to make mistakes in free agency, but the reward might be more likely to pay out than it has seemed in previous years. Agree?
Well, based on his, yeah. I mean, I thought Trey Hendrickson was a pretty good player coming from the Saints to the Bengals.
Did he have numbers?
Yeah, he did. I'd have to see. I mean, obviously, Bill Barnwell's done the work. So,
or did he have an outlier season like this?
Maybe
of course,
that's what he's
Grenard's
saying.
had 2 now.
Yeah, the first one, the one he mentioned in 21, was pretty good too.
Well, here's the deal, though.
It just kind of went under the radar because it was such a sucky season.
We're dinging Saquon Barkley, right, for his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, should we ding Jonathan Grenard for his injuries?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
stay
thinks
available.
that these guys are in the $10 to $16 million a year range. And I think that is doable.
Seems reasonable. Grenard's probably going to be closer to 14 and a half, maybe 15. So it's on the high side. I mean, once you add, if he went 15 and you added him, you're now $27 million out of your own cap for just your own guys. 32 when you add Kaimi Fairbairn. You're now $32 million out. You've almost cut into half of it.
So if Hassan Reddick is a cap casualty, would you rather have Reddick or Grenard? Reddick is
more of a true rusher. Grenard can play 2 ways. Reddick is not a great run defender. He's almost more off ball but he's not an off ball linebacker. They tried to do that in Arizona, and it was a loss.
I think I'd rather have Grenard than Danico Autry, Jadeveon Clowney, Leonard Floyd.
I like Autry, but he's not
Bryce,
a 3-4 outside linebacker.
I mean, and here's the thing too. When we heard D'Amico talk about Jonathan Grenard, we didn't hear him in the same glowing terms that we heard him talk about Singletary.
Well, I think they have an idea of what he's going to look for financially, and they probably are already like, we're not even paying that.
Yeah.
Not for a guy who has had injuries. That's not going to be the case. Where the Texans draft now, I don't think you're going to be able to get one of the top 4 pass rushers, so that's a concern. If you get Bryce Huff, okay. I mean, you have to get a discount on the price then. You can't pay similar money to what Grenard gets because then you're paying somebody else's player. You're not paying your own players. And your own team will recognize that. If Grenard gets $14.5 million and Huff were to get 11, a little more understandable.
Yeah.
A little more understandable because you do have to fill out your roster, but you have eaten up, like right off the bat, you're $17 million. You've subtracted $17 million by signing 2 players. So everyone just assumed that you'd had $70 million to spend on new free agents. No, you got to re-sign your own guys. What happens if they re-sign?
And they're all getting more. Cashman's getting more.
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
Cashman will. Motor might be about the same, but it's still.
Rankins will probably be the same.
Rankins will be less, I would think.
Yeah, maybe a little
maybe
less.
6.5.
Ooh, wow. That big a cut? He made like 11. last year.
So that was on a contract. It was second contract. He ain't getting it now. Third contract.
Singletary's going to make more. Your own guys. There are
Your own guys eat up a chunk of it.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, you got to fill out a roster too. You got to get 53 guys.
Save $6 million or $8 million for just. So let's save $6 million for during the season because Nick Caserio told me they save money.
Yeah.
Part of their cap. So shave that off.
They would have never gotten Derek Barnett if they didn't.
Right. Shave $5 to $6 million off there for operation purposes during the season. Shave off you're now 17 in with your tight end and your kicker.
What about
if you start signing your own guys, which you do have to fill out a roster. That money goes fast is what I'm saying.
What about Derek Barnett on the cheap? Bringing him back. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a Jerry Hughes kind of signing.
Well, yeah, because he'd be better again. He's more stout against the run.
Yeah.
See, I don't think
he played well when he was here.
Yeah, he did. I don't know that he has the same juice to rush a passer, but yeah, if you could get him on the cheap, absolutely, you take a look at that.
He didn't do a bad job rushing a passer either.
No, he didn't do a bad job. But if you look, he had a play extension sack. Like I don't love sacks that happen after 4 seconds. To me, that happened because the quarterback extended.
Yeah.
Like I count it, but I like guys who can beat their man and get to the quarterback.
Well,
that's what.
He mentions Bryce
Will
Huff
Anderson
here.
does.
Here's. Listen, I don't know how many Mario Williams sacks I saw where nobody blocked him, which is the dumbest. I can't understand.
Tight end block.
What? Yeah. Or no, nobody. I mean, where he walked in free, and that happens.
Well, they track those now. PFF
I
tracks
think
them.
a guy who's chasing a quarterback on the run is a much better sack than a guy who just goes unblocked and gets a sack. Anyway, there are a lot of guys out there. The next tier of guys, defensive ends, Dorrance Armstrong, Mike Dana, Marcus Davenport, Bud Dupree.
Oh no, you're right.
AJ Epinesa.
So Sheldon Rankins, according to my agent guy, who they put together their own list of expected values, they got $10 million on Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah.
And what? Hold on, let me see if they landed where they came in on tight end. They had $10 million for Schultz, went higher. For Fairbairn, they had $5 million. That's where it came in.
That's where he came in.
Yep. And for Motor, just in case you want to know, because we both think he's
I'll
coming
bet he's
back,
5.
right? You think he's 5? I have not looked at it yet. I'll pull it up right now. My guess is he's going to be 4. I would still play even more hardball. They got 3.
3?
Yeah, they got 3.
Wow. Well, you know what? Who was it made the point on ESPN? I think Diana. Well, maybe it wasn't ESPN. It was Diana Rossini and somebody else making a point. This is the greatest running back free agent list in NFL history.
It's good, yeah. I mean, it's good. Would you?
I mean, you don't see this many running backs out there.
Let me ask
And
you.
safeties? Holy crap.
Oh, some really good safeties.
And you know what? The best are going to get about $6 or $7 million. The NFL owners NFL general managers and owners are saying that now we ain't paying you. We ain't paying running backs. We ain't paying safeties.
But this is a good way to go shopping for if you don't love the draft.
And
this is a good way to go shopping for impact free agents.
And look what Jalen Johnson got. 76.
Oh, yeah. Well, the Bears weren't letting him go.
No. But a corner gets 76,
Yeah.
and you're cutting the best safety, Justin Simmons, for what, a 10, 11?
Well, they did bad. I mean, they have to. Do you know how much that Russell Wilson thing is going to cost them now?
Yeah.
From a cap standpoint, they have to get under the cap. They were already over the cap before Russell Wilson. Like, I couldn't even envision how they were going to do this with Russell. And they're doing it, so now guess what? They're going to have to lose good players.
Yep. All right, 713-780-3776. Christian Javier was on the mound yesterday. Let's talk about it on the other side. We got sound from Joe Espada about that. Right now, we got Home Bank, Community Bank since 1908. They are it's local. Okay, there are 5 locations here: River Oaks, Sugar Land, Gulf Freeway, Baybrook, Friendswood. They're going to help you meet your financial goals, whether you're, especially small businesses. You know, checking accounts can be tricky, so they've got plans for you, and they want you to meet your financial needs. Personal banking, small business solutions for you, competitive rates. What are you doing with your money? Is it just laying around? Because if it is, they got a 7-month CD for 5.15% annual percentage yield. but you got to put in $2,500. It's a minimum $2,500 balance. If you want 14-month CD, 4.75% APY, but that also is $2,500 at least. This is impressive. It is awesome for your money to work for you. If you got money laying around and it's just not doing anything, you got to use it. If it can sit around for 7 months and not do anything, there you go. Visit home24bank.com for more information. Home Bank, member FDIC.
You're listening to Houston's longest-running sports radio morning show. From the Veritex Community Bank Studios, here's John and Lance.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. 713-780-3776 is the number. If you'd like to hang out with us here on the show.
Wouldn't it be great if there's somebody who works at a restaurant that was just going to bring us food today?
There is.
Who? No, there's not. No, there's not.
Oh, yes, there is.
Is it Greek Fest time?
No. I'm not telling you.
Lance, when John, I'm going to assume we're not getting food, but when John, teased you with it, did your heart lift a little bit?
Fluttered.
Yeah,
It's AFib.
that's not
I
good.
thought
by
it
the
was
way.
AFib.
He had an AFib.
I thought it was AFib, and it's just no, it's just we don't have places bring us food that often. Paul, our friend Paul from Great Plate and from Jack's Grill did.
Maybe Paul's going to bring some today.
Maybe that'd be great.
Yeah.
Where'd you see Paul?
Well, I was at his. I went to Passerella the other night, but that wasn't it. Michael Carroll told me that.
Oh, because he's
coming in
to cut a commercial.
Yeah.
Well, he's coming in.
You're cutting it with him, right?
Yeah, I guess. No one told
he's
me.
Bringing food.
Are we sure? Because last time when he came without food,
no,
both of us almost started to cry.
No, I know we did. Yeah, I think I shamed him enough. I
almost pulled a Katie Britt fake cry. And I was wondering. And can you believe that? No, I thought there was food coming, but there wasn't food coming. And
no, we were so sad. He saw it in our faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he could tell.
Oh,
we don't hide that stuff
you
well.
were gonna bring.
Yeah, we don't hide that well.
Christian Javier yesterday tried harder to hold runners. Mm-hmm. He did a nice job. He gave up 2 earned runs, but how about this? 6 strikeouts and a walk. Maybe he's popping. He's popping again. Maybe he's popping. Now, I don't care about runs. I do like swings and misses, though. I do like because swings and misses tells me that you got something on your fastball or your curveball is breaking or whatever the case may be. Giving up runs in a preseason game, no one cares. Although Ryan Presley gave up a run in 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and a run. What do you feel about Ryan Presley now?
Nothing. I don't feel bad. I only feel good about Javier having a game. Any positive performance from Javier to where I think I get my real Christian Javier back is going to make me excited. You know what? Maybe it's as simple as not pitching in, he did go pretty deep last year in the postseason, but maybe it's the 7th inning he was done pretty quick. Game 7, he was done pretty quick in Game 7. That didn't take real long, unfortunately.
No.
But no, I wonder if not playing a World Baseball Classic helped. I wonder if you said he came in 15 pounds lighter.
Yep.
Maybe Christian Javier just is more focused, in better shape, and maybe the arms a little rested.
He did get that fat contract last offseason, and maybe that made him a little sassy. Here is Joe Espada talking about
porky, hog, fat ass, double wide,
no, he wasn't
butterball.
a hog.
You said sassy.
I said he was sassy.
And you talked about losing weight too.
Yeah. He wasn't Fat Chaz, but he was.
Porky, hog, fat ass, double wide, butterball.
No one said that.
Why are
about
you
any
doing
of
that
those
to
guys?
Christian Javier.
Well, sassy usually fat and goes before that
Yeah,
normally.
Fat and sassy.
I didn't say that. All I said was he was sassy.
Well,
I said,
context
but
clues,
it's,
John.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you made the assumption.
Yeah, but you're
there.
the one that came out with itty bitty wide receiver committee.
I think that's one of my best lines.
It is, but it also is a little bit of a tell.
No,
it's a little tell.
No.
I like when Dell slips out of character.
Yeah.
His character that he does, where he's cares about everything.
Yeah.
I want to tell people that if you want gyms like that, you hear the exclusives on the Del Olaleye Show.
Oh, that's where you get
said
that?
it there first.
This is just a replay.
Yeah, I brought that out first on that show.
Yes, you did.
Let's get to
Here is Joe Espada talking
ahead.
about Christian Javier's performance yesterday.
It was really good. I like how he mixed all his pitches, some plus changeups to get some swing and miss. Those 2 mistakes, the 2 home runs to Walker and Carpenter, but aside of that, he threw the ball really well. Some slide steps in there. Kind of kept the running game in check. It was a really, really good performance.
That's very Verlander-like. 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs, solo shots. Very Verlander-like. How about holding runners? See, this is a problem because he's slow to the plate. He's got that big arm. He lifts up that left arm, right?
Yeah.
He lifts it high, so runners have a little bit more time. Here is Joe. They're working on it. He's got to be quicker to the plate with runners on base. Here's Joe Espada on holding runners.
Even though the game was 4-0, chances of them running are slim there, but we're still working on that stuff. Some slide step, execute all these pitches, fastball, changeup out of slide steps, held the ball well. Those are the small things that matter, and he did a really good job executing that today.
So Joe Espada, was it yesterday or the day before when asked about Javier, he said that he's got to be more consistent with his inconsistency. You can't come to the plate the same.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Mix it up. Timing so they can't read you.
Yes, so they can't read you. He can't do the same thing over and over and over again. He's got to be more inconsistent coming to the plate, and that will give the runners make it tougher for the runners to steal on him to get a good jump. So that's something that he's working on. It's a lot of head stuff when you got a runner on base, and man, you got to worry about that while you're trying to locate your pitches and you're trying to figure out what pitch and execute your pitches. It's a lot. When you're slow to the plate, that's another step that the dude's going to have to take this year. And he did give up 2 solo shots, so that's nice. That's nice. Brandon is here, wants to talk about Texans free agency. Hey, Brandon.
Hey, morning, sports guys.
What's going on?
Sports.
Why is this a thing now?
I don't know why
I don't
that's
know.
a thing.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. The defensive tackle thing with the Texans, it doesn't sound like there's going to be an option available where they're drafting, and the fact that Christian Wilkins sounds like he's going to be the only available free agent, that may drive up the cost a lot. I was looking online this morning, and would you look into doing a trade for Jonathan Allen over with the Commanders? Because they said he has 2 years at about $16 million per left on his contract, and that may be a more viable option than going out and spending money in free agency or in the draft.
I hate trading for anybody when there's guys out there in the free agent market right now. I don't.
Well, you don't have to fight them for, like, you don't have to bid for the services.
What do you
It's
think?
fixed.
What is Christian Wilkins going to get a year?
Close to 20. Jonathan Allen right now.
But you only got that for 2 years. Plus, you got to give
Yeah.
up what?
Yeah.
What do you got to give up? A second?
He's going to be 29 this year. No, I don't think I give up a second.
We'll see. Well,
I don't think I give up a second.
you
And
don't
then
get
they
an
may
old
not.
Coke.
Yeah, and they may not make the deal because they've already traded. I mean, they traded their edge rushers, and you got a first for Sweat and a second for Chase Young, but he's making, like, from a dead cap standpoint, 12. So yeah, they would have the accelerated signing bonus would move up to hit them. They'd be fine. They'd be fine. It would make it might make some sense for both teams. You're right. It's 2 years, but I would redo his deal. If I'm going to sign him, I treat him like a free agent, and then you have to be okay with paying him. Basically, he's under contract for the next 2 years. So if you redo the deal, you could do it to make it more cap friendly this year. And then how long are you going to extend it? Are you going to extend it 1 year? You're just basically buying 1 year on his deal, giving him a new deal and buying one season, or would you try to get 2 seasons out of it? Because he is under club control. Like, why even mess with it? His signing bonus is already done, so you're not going to be responsible for that. You're going to be responsible for the base salary of $14 million. There's a workout. So 14.5, there's roster. Okay, so yeah, 15.5 is what he would cost you this year, and then he'd cost you 17 next year. From a financial standpoint, that's about what you're looking at. It's less than what Christian Wilkins would be, but he's older. He's a little bit older than Christian Wilkins and John. But you'd have club control for 2 years. You could redo his deal, shave off some of that cap space.
But again, what are you giving up?
Pay him in advance. Yeah, I mean, I'd give up a third.
No, they ain't doing it.
Probably not.
They ain't doing it for a third.
Probably not.
I mean,
I don't want to. I'm taking on a lot of money.
Yeah, but they're going to be. That's another team that's got a quarterback-friendly contract. They're going to draft a quarterback here. They got a quarterback-friendly contract. They can spend. They got out of Chase. Okay, they got out of sweat. They should be able to go out and get. They're not going to get rid of Jonathan Allen as well. They had potentially the best defensive line in football just last year.
Yeah, and then they traded half.
And then they
away.
got. That's all.
How much?
We're getting
cap
rid of
space?
everybody. It's amazing how far Chase Young has fallen. What is Chase?
They've got $91 million in cap space. Washington Commanders do not need your cap space.
No, they don't need your third rounder either.
Actually, they have a lot of picks too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Washington Commanders have like 11 picks this year.
Yeah.
So they don't need. I don't need a pick.
This might be the This might be the team that improves drastically, like the Texans did last year,
if they can find
if they get the right quarterback.
I mean, look at this though. Their defensive tackles are going to cost $29 million. Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen cost $29 million between the two of them. That's expensive. That's why they had to trade off their defensive ends because they couldn't pay their defensive line would have been.
They just gave Payne all that money last year.
And his cap number.
That's a team.
His cap number is $21 million. Jonathan Allen's is $21 million is their cap number for it. McLaurin $24 million at wide receiver. Man, that ain't the best use of money. They're going to cut Jamin Davis, their linebacker, or they may cut Jamin Davis, their linebacker.
Yeah, but still, they've got all kinds of cap space. I'm telling you, that's a team that you might look at and say they got a chance to make a big move this year if they get the pieces right.
Yeah,
and spend good.
So I'm
free
trading
agent
away
money.
So if you have that many picks, I'm packaging them to move. I want to come out of here with 5 really good players. I got 11 picks. Use them to move up and get core players if you can. That's how I would do that. And then you got a bunch of cap space, so you can go get Blake Cashman. Just go, just for example, if you wanted to get a linebacker, you just go get a Blake Cashman. You make smart deals. You could go get Bryce Huff off the edge. If you're them, maybe they're in the market for Jonathan Grenard. Who knows? But yeah, Washington with their draft capital, and I didn't realize that they have so much cap space and draft capital. They're going to be a problem in this in this offseason.
All right, 801 ESPN 97.5.
They suck, and they don't have a quarterback, but they will draft one.
But they'll draft one, and they got Cliff.
They got Cliff.
A clear
Does
track
anyone
record.
care about that Cliff anymore?
A clear track record of success on the NFL level.
Yes,
Cliff Kingsbury.
That's our guy.
He's your guy.
This week, I introduced you, and for those of you who know Kent Jones, he is a listener to the show, third-generation Houstonian. He loves the show. He knows all the stuff about the show. I've met with him multiple times. He owns Dream Rate. Listen, he really geeks out about this mortgage thing. I'm not even joking. He really loves this mortgage. It's his. He will work his ass off for you. I'm telling you. And I don't. When I got my mortgage, I didn't even care. Well, okay, I went to the table. Probably spent thousands more than I had to. You can shop your loan. Most lenders are going to make it impossible for you to get a fast rate quote because they know they're not competitive. Kent is going to give you a scenario quote on the phone in minutes. He's proud of his rates. Okay, safe, transparent, dependable. He pairs you with the best wholesalers in the nation. Listen, only 25% of people that are getting mortgages use brokers. 75% of the people are doing it wrong. If you want a good deal at anything, it's good to know the owner. He can only do like 8 of these. So if you're somebody that is looking for a mortgage, you're looking to buy a home right now, this is the guy to call. The ultimate mortgage hookup. Call Kent at Dream Rate Mortgage, 713-520-5626, 713-520-LOAN, or you go to 975loans.com. That's 975loans.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 3 or more A.O. Smith water heaters. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/.
All right, welcome back here. 806 on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. John and Lance, along with Dell, here with you for a couple more hours before we hit the weekend and the big game between the Cougs and the Jayhawks tomorrow.
Biggest
Cougs,
action of the weekend.
It is the biggest. It's the biggest game in the city. The Rockets play Portland tonight. Is it tonight that they play?
It's the biggest Cougar game in the city since last year's Alabama game, right? You think?
Yeah, tonight is at Portland. It's the biggest Cougars home game since Alabama last year.
I mean, relative to the excitement level of seeing Kansas here, relative to the excitement level of the Cougs being the number one team in the nation, relative to the Cougs having, wanting to get revenge for the first game. There's a lot. There's a lot of excitement. This is big time. Look, when you have big time college basketball,
it's also Trophy Day. Now they can win the title outright, but either way, there's going to be a Big 12 trophy, regular season trophy presented on Saturday today for them because they already have a share, but they can also.
We don't want to share.
I understand. I
understand. Everybody gets a trophy then,
geez,
Dell? Everybody's trophy.
Well, actually, that's what they do if you share. That's kind of how it works. They have a chance for an outright title in the Big 12 in their first year, which is a big deal too.
I always think that's kind of like I played at Lamar Little League. And this is the
here we go.
No.
What?
We had we had participation trophies back then.
It's not participation. It's first place.
No. But we had, like, when I was in Little League, everyone says it's participation trophy, but actually we had those too. It was cool to get a trophy, but if you were the best teams, you got different trophies. But everyone who, like, here's your trophy, so even in Little League back in the 80s, like, it was still, you still got
That's why you soft.
Participation. No.
That's why you hate horns
soft.
down. You're soft. You got a participation trophy, and you thought it was great.
Our coach had a cooler Schlitz. We played on an infield that a Coke dealer was supposed to take care of, and he didn't do a good job.
Soft.
There was rocks and razor blades there.
Yeah.
We went into the hood for our baseball practice. By Crockett Elementary. There was nothing soft about Lamar Little League. Now
How
there may
did we
be
get
now.
to a personal story about you from
because
Cougs?
Participation trophy, like, that phrase is out there, but I get it now, but actually, like, technically we did have trophies
You let
get
him
for Little
suck
League.
you into his nonsense?
No, it's
It's his nonsense.
Well, you should have ignored him when he said participation trophy.
I did. I went on to talk about. You should have ignored him. I went on to talk about the Cougs.
I'm in here though. I have to.
No, you don't.
Deal with it.
He doesn't do that to you.
You're both soft.
He doesn't do that to you.
You're both soft.
How am I soft?
I suck him in sometimes.
Let's share the trophy.
John, it's not my rule. That's the Big 12's rule.
Let's share it. Let's everybody get a trophy.
Okay.
You giving Oklahoma State one too?
No, because
Are you going?
No one cares about Oklahoma State except you, and you don't count. The point is, the Cougs have a chance for an outright title, but I'm giving the facts. If they don't win, they're getting a trophy either way. But people, it's a big thing on Saturday.
The next time somebody calls, I want you to answer it live on air because I'd say 75% it's Gilbert.
What, him hanging up?
Well, he keeps calling and hanging up trying to get somebody to answer his call. I could be wrong. We don't have an intern answering calls, but I keep hearing the phone ringing, and I'm thinking you could just answer and say, hey, what's up, Gilbert?
Okay.
Yeah, talk to Lance. That's what he'd say.
That's what he wants
because
to do?
he thinks I have something for him, and I have nothing for him.
What are you supposed to have for him?
I don't know. Whatever he thinks that I owe him.
What if you do owe him?
Whatever I owe him for
So,
him being Gilbert.
Does Texas have to win? They're 8-9 right now. 8-9 in conference.
That's so bad. They should be so much better than that.
I mean,
Texas fans are not happy with Rodney Terry.
How much
And, you know,
longer? And they got Oklahoma.
People are like, Rodney Terry just kind of fell into the job. I was just seeing a conversation between them online the other day about Rodney Terry, and they're like, I get why Rodney Terry got hired, but how long do we have to stick with Rodney Terry? That was their thought, is they don't think Rodney Terry, that this team is more talented than what their record would indicate. And maybe so. Maybe so. I don't know. I think Texas is definitely on the bubble right now.
Look at Oklahoma is 8-9. Texas is 8-9. They're playing at Texas. OU and Texas. Well, you want to talk about?
Well, the winner may make it.
The winner might make it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at all the bubble stuff, but in terms of what the strength of schedule and everything else, the last third's not great for Texas, but it may take a win like that to, every little win Texas can get, or Oklahoma, give them a better chance of becoming that would typically be like a 10 seed, typically in that neighborhood.
Fortunately for Texas, because of the strength of their conference, they do have a number of quad 1 wins, and their net rating is 28, which is really good. Now, they're 8-9 in conference, and sure, that mark of 20 wins may mean something to some people, but that net rating suggests, as long as they don't lose out, they're probably in. That's a net rating that suggests.
Yeah, they're not even on the bubble.
Yeah, they're in. They've got the 5 quad.
So?
Yeah, the net rating and the 5 quad 1 wins, and the fact that they played 13 quad 1 games suggests that schedule is going to prop them in, despite maybe not being an impressive overall record.
Yeah, Joe Lunardi doesn't even have them on the bubble. He's got last 4 in are Seton Hall, New Mexico, Virginia, and Wake Forest. Last 4 out: St. John's, Utah, Providence, and Iowa. Next 4 out: Colorado, Pittsburgh, Drake, and Memphis. Last 4 buys: Colorado State, Florida Atlantic, Villanova, and TCU. They're not even they're not even close to the bubble.
It's a much bigger game for Oklahoma.
Okay.
They got a 41 net rating, only 3-9 in quad 1 wins. They need to add another one and probably find a way to win a game in the.
He's got Texas as an 8 and Oklahoma's a 10.
Oh, so they're clearly in too. They just can't fall apart, Oklahoma. Yeah, the Big 12 is propping up these teams, and they're going to get in.
Right. The 12 and 13 seeds are the ones that you got that are bubble-ish. He's got TCU as a 10 too. Wow. The Big 12 this year. This is an accomplishment for the Cougs, man.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about moving up in class. Now they have shown over the years that they are a show pony, right? They have been Sweet 16, Final 4, Elite 8. This program has shown they are they're not a blue blood, but they are one of the premier programs.
Themselves.
That's right, in the country because of Kelvin Samson. But when you move up in class, it's different. And they moved up in class in conference because when you're playing East Carolina and then you got UCF or what the ones that they had last year. Come on, it wasn't. You were like, okay, that's great. This schedule and going on the road and winning the games that they won on the road and dominating at home the way they have.
Consistent challenges.
That's right.
And they're number one. They're number one. Now, it does help when you start the season higher, but at the same time, they've had 3 losses, and they have not been, you're not taking back-to-back losses. The Cougs have been steady. It's the same thing as last year, just harder schedule and more challenging home and road opponents, but they still don't shoot well. They still rebound great. They still defend. It's the same Kelvin Samson team you see every single year. Nothing's changes. He knows exactly what he's got year in and year out. And there's that level of consistency. I mean, we can talk about the things that we'd like to see them do so they could win a national championship. I still think it's going to be hard not being able to shoot the ball effectively, and losing their big is going to really hurt. But I mean, this is so awesome that he has brought this program back. Like, Pat Foster did a pretty good job with the Cougs in the early 90s. Guy Lewis was incredible, obviously, with the Cougars from 80 to about 86 in that neighborhood, 85 really. Guy Lewis was incredible. And then it was just really, Tom Penders did some things. He was okay. But what Kelvin Samson has done, if you know anything about the history of Cougar basketball, this has been incredible for him to bring them back. You're right. They are the show pony.
Mm-hmm.
They're the team that no one wants to play because they're going to be all up in your face. It's a great home court again. And it's really, I think we take it for granted sometimes that because this is not a huge college basketball town, that we've got the number one team in the nation right here.
This is huge. Huge. The Aggies won yesterday, and yet Lunardi doesn't even have them on the bubble. He doesn't have them in. They beat Mississippi State, and Mississippi State is in as a 9 seed, according to Lunardi. The Aggies are out, still out, not even on the bubble or.
We'll see what happens if they can shock the world a little bit and get to a championship game in the SEC. That'd be a lot. Yeah, it's a lot to ask, but I think they'd have to get there. I mean, maybe they have to win the whole thing. I don't know.
So Robin was here from Houston Powder Coaters yesterday, and she is
Did
awesome.
she bring French fries?
She didn't bring. No,
and you didn't say anything.
No, she doesn't have a restaurant. So she
could have stopped and brought.
She
could
have brought some paint. That would have been great if she'd have brought some paint with her. But I didn't need to touch anything up anyway. But she's just the best. I mean, and she said you're gonna talk to her or Jennifer when you call up there or when you email. She said whatever it is that you need, let her look at it. Send her pictures. If you can hear us, they'll pick up and deliver. It's something that they do. Not every one of them. They'll charge a lot of these other companies that are going to powder coat. They will charge you for pickup and delivery. That's not the case here. They will come to you if you're a business and your metal fence, you want to replace the metal fence or do you want to powder coat it? They will go to you and do that. They are working on so many businesses, working with the local government here, just making our city look great. When you look at the Woodlands Waterway, you can see all the paint there. That's them. They did that. It's Houston Powder Coaters is the best. And you're going to find that as well. HoustonPowderCoaters.com. You need something powder coated? 281-676-3888 or HoustonPowderCoaters.com.
You're back in the Veritex Community Bank Studios with John and Lance.
On ESPN 97.5 and 92.5.
All right, welcome back here on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Some things that we haven't gotten to. We talked about the Chiefs fans with the amputations. Dell, is there more to the story right now? Yesterday in News of the Weird, we were, how you're not a big fan. You're not a fan. You wouldn't do that for your teams. You wouldn't give up a toe.
Hell
or a foot.
no. Hell no.
No. Chiefs fans, better fans than you.
Good. So be it. But I still have my body parts, and do they?
So that game that was so cold, there are amputations. Like dozens of people had frostbite, and there are multiple amputations either scheduled or happened already.
I got to tell you, no sympathy for these people. You're warned. You were warned, pre-warned. It ain't like a earthquake where you don't know it's coming. You're fully aware of the deal. You know what cold means. You live in a place that gets cold. This is on you. If you lose a thumb, you deserve it.
It was that cold where you were amputating.
They deserve it. Everyone who lost a body part deserves it.
That is a cold.
There's the sympathetic.
I said I'm not sympathetic.
Cold,
my
You were forewarned. The only people, if they lost a part of their body, that I would have sympathy for is the players, because they had to go out there no matter what. The other people, you could keep your ass home and you keep a thumb.
So there's really more than one person getting amputations.
Yes.
This is unbelievable.
Yes. No, multiple.
Like how long were you out there?
Dozens of frostbite.
You think you're out there 5 hours?
I'm sure they showed up
they
the
were out there probably
pregame.
longer with before the game, after the game.
Oh, no. I wouldn't be tailgating. I'd be in the car.
Oh, them
heater.
idiots were.
Yes.
But, I mean, 30
Yes.
minutes, you probably have to go in minimum 30 minutes, even if you don't. You're minimum 30 minutes in that weather before the game starts. Minimum, I would say you're celebrating, woo, 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 and then you're getting out to your car, which takes time. I mean, you're looking at a minimum of 4 to 4.5 hours outside in that weather.
Yeah.
That's enough to give you, I guess that is.
And guys were out there with the players out there with no sleeves on and whatnot.
At least they're moving around.
Yeah, they're moving.
But the fans sitting there, you're asking for it, and you got it.
And you may have had some diabetes in the stands, too. Well, I mean, it may have just sped it up.
What, did you catch it? You picked it up there?
No, you were already sitting there with it.
Double wide butterball.
No, you were already sitting there with it.
Well, Kansas City, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, you're
think
already
it's
sitting there with
contagious,
it. And
diabetes?
There's some diabetes going
Just
around.
sitting around in the seats.
And it's really cold. You don't have good blood flow. Like, that's kind of, do we count that?
Yeah.
You're at a health risk, and you're going to go out there and
no
chance. That's just why I have no sympathy.
Yeah.
Unless a child is mentioned and they went out there because their parents took them out there. An adult, well, you deserved it.
I'm leaving at halftime.
Did we see any OnlyFans videos from that game?
OnlyFans videos.
Yeah, you've seen some other football games where they do stuff at the game.
I don't think
Yeah, but
that
how is
happened.
that possible?
Well, there was none of that going on.
too
You
cold.
said, the blood flow is terrible in that weather.
Unless you went to a local gas station before and had a pill or two.
Yeah. Even in that weather?
I don't know.
20 below?
Those things may be
I don't
powerful.
think they make those pills.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
but-
that's lower than a walk-in cooler. Like, we're 30 degrees
What are
lower
we
than a
doing?
walk-in
and this is
cooler.
why I have no sympathy.
Yeah. It's hard to have sympathy. But at the same time, like, you wouldn't think you're going to lose a body part. You
I'm
would
sure
think,
the news and
like, what do you
the
wear
news
for
was probably
socks?
the news was probably telling people dangerous conditions.
Yeah.
What do you wear
Oh,
for
no,
shoes and
absolutely
socks?
they knew.
Yeah, they knew.
What's the warmest? What do you do to warm your feet, John? What do you?
Oh, man, I tell you, I was two places, Chicago, Soldier Field and
Green Bay with
and Lambeau.
Texans.
Holy, I mean, cold, where you had to put something down to sit on, otherwise, and you had to have something in your boots, warmers in your boots, otherwise, and keep moving, otherwise you were going to have a problem. Yeah, it was that cold.
So we came this
But
close
not
to you losing
like,
a
that
foot.
was one of the fourth coldest game ever.
Maybe.
That was the fourth coldest game.
What
It
if
was
John
at least
got-
I lost $100 in that? Yeah, it was.
What if
fourth
John got real drunk and then stayed out too long at a cold game because he couldn't tell his feet, and he came in here, and after all this talk about me with my injuries and my shoulder and all this, he comes in 4 toes missing. He's just walking on a thumb toe.
Is that a fantasy you have for John to lose 4 toes?
I'd be curious to see if he
I'd
get a
take the
sawed
fifth
off.
one off so I could play golf. I mean, one toe
Would you
would
have
make
like
you wobbly.
like the guy who, what was his name? Who basically Super Toe was named after from New Orleans, the kicker Tom Dempsey.
Tom Dempsey.
Would you get one of those steel shoes?
Yeah.
I would too. Like I'd have it squared off, so it'd be hard to walk with no toes though. It'd be impossible, basically.
Yeah, and then we could change the name of the show to Stubby and the Kraut.
It's almost like you've been thinking about
No,
this. That came out so easy.
I think he's been thinking about calling you Kraut before, but I don't know about Stubby.
Stubby and the Kraut is the ultimate self-deprecation.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's not cool.
What would you call it if you were referring to your Italian side? What would you call the show?
Don't.
Let's say it'd be Johnny. It'd be the Dago and something.
Kraut?
Dago and the Kraut? I don't know. That doesn't.
I'll give you permission to say Kraut.
I did already. I didn't need your permission.
Well, I just letting you know. I gave for those who want to cancel John for saying Kraut. I gave him.
He
permission.
didn't ask for permission, and he won't ask for forgiveness.
No, I didn't know.
Listen, for any Germans who are looking to cancel John, I'm right now giving him permission.
I didn't call you a Kraut.
I'll give you permission to say Schnitzel. You can say my Schnitzel. You can say Schnitzel, please. You can use it however you want, but only for today. I don't know where that came from. That felt too natural.
Came from deep within you.
Not
Taylor
one,
Schnitzel.
It's not a one. It's not even.
It's not one
those
German
aren't real
word.
German words, but they sound. That sounds German. Like it sounds like I'm saying real words.
How about the Guinea and the Schnitzel?
Yeah, it's long.
It's long. It's a little long.
The Guinea and the Schnitzel. We're 7.
You wouldn't say
Look at
the.
that. Stubby and the Kraut.
It wouldn't be
That's
the.
5.
You say G and the Schnitzel.
John and Lance.
G.
3.
G, just like John and Lance. G and
the Guinea and the Schnitz.
Well, there it is.
Okay.
You want to be the Schnitz?
No, it doesn't sound. Yeah, man, I'm the Schnitz. Oh, I like it.
Whoa.
See?
Yeah,
I like that.
You are
yeah.
the Schnitz.
Man, I am.
No,
the
you're
Schnitz.
the Schnitz today. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've turned this show into something that would have been
Stop
around
talking all that Schnitz.
in 1944.
See that? Woo! Thank you, Dell. I got a new word.
I watch a lot of
My people, you can't use it.
I watch a lot of World War II stuff, and those are the things that those guys are getting called. You might as well push this thing back to 1943, and that's the name of the show.
We had a lot of there was our people here in the country, in the U.S., Americans have really created a lot of bad nicknames for people.
We did.
I've noticed there were some rough ones out there.
Yeah. You watch Band of Brothers? There's a lot of
Yes,
nicknames.
this is what I'm thinking of when I hear those terms.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, I started Shogun.
You started Shogun? I got to start that.
One episode in.
No, I got to wait. I got to wait till
first-
my boys are gone. Me and my wife will
I
watch
saw
it
my
all night.
first decapitation.
Is it every week? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every what?
The
Sunday?
the premiere was 2 episodes, and then once every week.
Sundays?
I think it's Tuesday.
That's how they keep you hanging on.
Premieres. I think it's Tuesday night.
Nice. I'm waiting because I want to
I
watch.
think they
I want
got
to
3.
binge.
I think they got 3 in.
3 in
right now. Yeah, I saw my first decapitation, which was good.
Did you see the guy being boiled alive?
I did see that. I did see
Okay,
that
can
as
we
you.
not-
As you
I've
know.
already
I've already told you this.
I know.
I did see the
we stop?
Japanese geisha girl who figured out real quick that he wasn't into it, but so she started messing with the other guy. Like, should I stop? And he
Okay,
goes, no,
okay,
keep
right,
going.
right.
Well, I'm not giving away plot lines.
Yeah, you're giving away the show.
I'm not giving away plot lines.
Okay, most of us haven't watched it.
It's been out for 3 weeks now.
I'm only
Get it
one
together.
episode
No.
in,
Or 2 weeks.
I'm
2
only
weeks.
one
Wait
episode
till I
in.
watch it, then I'll talk about it.
And The Regime.
No.
These are the 2 I'm going to watch. And Larry David, The Regime with Kate Winslet, and
What's that?
Shogun. It's pretty good
She's
so far.
a leader of a foreign country.
It's Middle Europe. It's a little different. She has issues with like this
humidity.
guy has to walk around. This guy who's known as the Butcher, who apparently killed a bunch of people. He's a soldier, and he's like, it's too hard to explain.
She has an issue with moisture, so he has to check the humidity of every room.
Wherever he walks.
Yes,
and
exactly.
they say, and I will admit, they go, you need to check that. What's this for? He goes, for relative humidity. I want to say dew point. Like I knew that it's not relative humidity.
God, is that a great show for you?
But
dew
the writing,
point?
yes, it's not relative humidity. It's dew point. Like it really bothered me that you have all this. You know, Bosch I thought was one of the greatest shows at having whoever their technical advisors were. They were great. The murders were unbelievable. Like everything about Bosch was really good in terms of the technicality. And I'm like, how do you do something where you have an issue with humidity and you're not talking about dew point and you're talking about relative humidity? Like, at least get it right. Talk to a meteorologist. They can tell you.
All right, let's get this right.
Well, they're trying to do an entertaining show, so that's why they don't mention dew point, which should be a clue to you.
Which, You notice they don't mention it, and that's why people watch.
Nothing nude, and I will warn you this.
That's
There's
why people watch.
Was there nudity in Regime?
Not yet.
What
Not yet.
was there?
Breaking news?
Yeah, I've got to talk about Doc Linville. Okay,
That's not
Doc
breaking
Linville has
news.
breaking news for you.
What?
Get here. All right. Listen, back in the 40s, they call you cue ball. We don't want to do that. Okay.
Say, cue ball.
And other news, yeah.
In other news, yeah, there was a bank robbery on the south side at 26th and 8th, led by 2 cue balls. Should be easy to spot there.
So here's the deal. Don't be a cue ball. Hey, cue ball. Stop being a cue ball. What I need you to do is get hair, especially if you're younger, 20s, 30s, and you're starting to lose it. And it happens, okay? I was sitting behind a guy at the Rockets game. I was like,
Your
you
life
need to
is
call.
still worth living at that age.
Yeah. What? You what?
You shouldn't quit on life at that
No,
age.
and you are quitting if you don't have any hair.
You still have a shot.
I mean, you still got a shot. Take that last shot, okay? Actually, it's not even the last shot. You're in your 20s and 30s and you're losing your hair. It's time to see Doc Linville. And Doc Linville might do PRP, which is a lot more affordable. Plus, it's a lot easier, and it stimulates the growth in your hair. You might have a lot of hair under there that's just not growing. So Doc Linville is going to, and Kelly is actually going to do this, and she's wonderful. She's really great at this. I'm going to get my third procedure coming up next week, as a matter of fact. Here's the deal. If you need the neografting, that's an easy process as well. Much easier than any of the other processes out there. I did the other one. It hurt. It was awful. Neografting is the way to go. Plus, he's got a 3-day anesthetic. It's going to be perfect for you. What you need to do, if you're losing your hair, stop. You don't have to. 975hair.com. That's 975hair.com.
Hey, guys, I want to talk to you about Vanderford Air because I've got an air conditioning company that you can finally truly rely on, that you can put this phone number in your phone. When you have an air conditioner that breaks down, and that will happen for you, you need someone who can repair it and get there quickly. And they will get there within 24 hours. That is their promise. But even more than that, with air conditioning over time, your air conditioning system can and will break. We had to replace our air conditioning system 3 years ago, and it lasted about 18, 19 years, I guess. We had it replaced. And I can tell you this, if you don't have Vanderford Air come in with what they do, which is checking the heat loads in your house, they go through the entire system. They find out what part of your house is cooling and what